Hey everyone. Well, as you can see back here in the live stream temporarily because I'm on my heat therapy for my fibromyalgia, which is a nerve disorder. And it doesn't help that I have other disorders that keeps me permanently disabled, unfortunately, except for I'm making a teddy bear for a friend's son. Now, I did finish that neck warmer. Gee, Doug, I should tell Doug it's for his son. I'm on live stream right now. I disabled the comment section for a reason, so you can just text me if you want. Text your comments to me. See, I'm connected with a few YouTube people. So this is actually for Doug and Kelly Paulson's son, Doug Jr. So what I did was I took a doily pattern to make the bigger part of the head, okay? Now this is only the front half, only the front. I'm doing this in sections, okay? So I am using this tan, or I don't know if it's really tan or peachy looking, so I decided, heck, I'm gonna go with this color. Everybody's little stuffies are different. And if you want to know, I'm not letting yarn go back into a landfill. So any scrap yarn that I do have is what will be stuffing this little teddy bear. So you know, I am not letting things go back into a landfill. And water. Oh my gosh. Yes, plenty of water while I'm doing this. Because this is so adorable. Now, I did the ear and the other eye while I was on Instagram. Yeah, I filled this in, the white part in, while I was on Instagram and did the other eye. Like, the eyes aren't going to be perfect. I want this thing to have just its own personality. You know, everybody has their own personality. And that's what I want this stuffed animal to have, is its own personality. So, that is why I did that like that. Now, if you guys really want me to show you how to knit and or crochet, if you want to know how I learned how to make the doily pattern, it only took me like less than a minute to learn, but that's just me. I'm a quick learner, just like that. So I watched a little bit of another tutorial. So I did give somebody else some watch time, although she was doing her doily kind of weird. So I was like, you know what, that's weird. So I just did my own style. That's the back of it. So what I do is basically this. I will show you on the other ear real quick. And it requires the size 5 mm. This is what I'm using. Okay. And you will take this through where you want to start the fill of the ear, which for me would be right about here. Right about there. Then you take this, and I know it looks like I'm going to loop it. I'm not looping it. You have to pull that through for a reason, because that's when you take this back through on a different section, right? Follow along with this. Take this back through in a different section. Now make sure it's a tight section of this to show you that. Make sure it's a tight section. Pull that through. And now, why am I doing that? Okay, because I need to speak and my hair will hold that. And now, that's when you take that through the loop and you have your knot. You leave this thread here, leave the tail. This is the tail. This is your working yarn, obvious. Sometimes I just try to be a little silly for my videos. It's like, I'm enjoying my heat therapy. I know I need to put the heat back down on my feet soon. My brand new doctor, oh my gosh, awesome guy. I just hope that their office calls me back soon because, again, the pharmacy made a mistake on the label of the medication to knock down the pain of my fibromyalgia. Now, like I said, fibromyalgia is, I guess now we're also kind of doing a health talk here, is a nervous disorder. It impacts your nerves. Thank you for the 1 thumbs up. Whether that was CG or Doug. It impacts your nerves and can cause you a lot of pain. And that could also be why I'm having a problem walking again, is because fibromyalgia. It doesn't go away ever. It stays with you permanently. It's like lupus. And I think that's why I was tested for lupus various times. And it's more common in the society of like Black people. And I'm not putting nobody down because it's in my medical records. Black and Native American, right here. It's my medical records. Because I read the labs, what came back for my labs for that. And so that's what they have down. So, hey, can't be hating, got to be appreciating life. See what I said? Got to be appreciating life. But it is more common in Black people to have lupus than it is for any other culture. And this is actually a medical fact. But you can control it with diet. Just like brain fart there. Obviously this is live stream, so there's no edit. So it said it's more common. Unlike diabetes doesn't care who you are. Diabetes will hit us all. They don't care what sex you are. It doesn't matter your nationality. That's the same thing with thyroid disorder. Thyroid disorder is not, my gosh, I couldn't believe I had this one doctor that said thyroid disorder is just a white person thing. That's a stuck on stupid. There are people of other nationalities that have thyroid disorder. So, are you kidding me? There are plenty of Native Americans, Blacks, Asians that have thyroid disorder. And it affects you in different ways. It can actually make you have all sorts of issues. It can actually give you diabetes. A lot of people aren't aware of that. Thyroid disorder can literally give you diabetes if you don't take care of your health correctly. You can get diabetes. Too much soda, too much bread. You can get diabetes from consuming too much gluten. Bread is a gluten. A lot of people don't think about that. Carbons. Taking in all the soda. Like, rarely do you ever see me drink a soda. I think you guys only see me drink a soda once, maybe twice. Rarely will I ever drink a soda. Why? Because I don't know, I just don't have the taste for it anymore. I just do not have the taste for a soda anymore. Not even my favorite one, which happens to be Dr. Pepper. Love Dr. Pepper. That is my favorite and the only one other than root beer that I can drink. It's the only two sodas that I can drink. I cannot drink any other kinds of soda. I'm allergic. So, you know what? When I had gestational diabetes with only 3 of my kids, yes, I have 4 children. I know, look at. Anyway, one of them has a YouTube channel. She thinks I go on there all the time. No, sweetie, I don't go onto your YouTube channel, obviously. You come onto mine. Maybe you should give your grandpa safe back. Ooh, da da da. Your mom knows something. Oh my gosh. And like filling in this ear really isn't going to take that long, but like I know that if anybody wants me to teach knitting and or crocheting on this channel, you let me know. I mean, like, I'm not going to be on here all the time because right now I'm taking care of my health. And I have to go see a new neurologist finally because Dr. Hubbs definitely wasn't willing to send me to a neurologist. Dude was an idiot. Guy tried to prescribe me a hallucinogen. Are you fucking kidding me? And he wasn't even talking to me about it. And that's illegal. Not only is that illegal, but that's against the code of conduct for doctors. So I told my new doctor about that, and he's like, what? No. So he explains everything to me. I'm so glad I thanked him for that. If you're in this area, don't go to Dr. Hubbs. I know I have one viewer that's the same person that's off of Just Anne's channel. So, like, you don't live too far from me. Don't go to Dr. Hubbs, sweetie. Just don't. Like, you have to try to get it under, and sometimes this can be really hard because I got those crochet stitches really tight. And so that sometimes can make it a little difficult to get that in there. And like I said, I'm giving this personality. So like this one, I went back and forth, and this one I'm going around. And I'm doing that on purpose to give this little guy a lot of personality. I really wanted to have that. Like I said, everybody's different. Everybody has a different personality, a different perspective on life, a different take. And, you know, that's really what I want to give this. Kind of go back in. And you can always go back in and fill in between the lines, but, you know, let me show you that. And this is also how you fill the stitching in between. So you have like the ones like this, right? Okay. And there's actually a technique to closing those off. They're really nice. But here's the technique to closing that off. You stick that right through one stitch, loop it, pull it through. Then over here, you take it through the stitch. Then, of course, yes, it looks like you have a bunch of stitches. Loop it, pull it through. Sometimes I'll pull an extra loop on there in case it feels too tight. Do that if it feels too tight. Loop it. And then what you can also do is just that. Okay. And it doesn't really matter if you skip a couple and go on to another one, because this is all going to look fluffy cute anyway. That's the purpose. Fluffy cuteness. Who doesn't love a fluffy cute teddy bear? Am I adding a mouth to this? No. Why? Native American folklore. You guys are like, oh, this is random today. Native American folklore. In Native American folklore, we do not add a mouth to a doll or a stuffed animal because the spirit speaks through the mouth of the toy. So, and there's a reason for that, because dolls were originally, I think I've mentioned this before, dolls were originally meant to be the soul keepers of the dead. Do you really want dolls around? I stopped watching Graveyard Girl, but do you know how many souls of the dead she has in that room or around her house? Are you kidding me? No. Just a big old scoop of nope on a rope. That's one of my new catchphrases. Nope on a rope. Just a big old nope on a rope to that. I mean, like, she went to PR boxes instead of, she left out her Swamp Family mail, which I'm really disappointed, because on one of those boxes of Swamp Family mail is a personalized piece of art that I did for her. I know a lot of people out there probably sent her stuff. She asked if any of her viewers did any jewelry, and she was looking for some arm candy specifically, and some custom earrings. Okay, fine. Boom, was right on that. Boom. Sent that with the other artwork. If I had labeled this as a PR package, bitch would have opened it. Big old nope on a rope to Bunny Meyer, aka Graveyard Girl. You need to go back to your Swamp Family mail instead of PR packages. I mean, come on, Jeffree Star just threw away a bunch of PR packages and donated a bunch of PR. He just donated a bunch of his PR. You gotta love him for that. He donated clothes, shoes, handbags, okay? And we're talking the expensive stuff, okay? And the expensive cosmetics. He just donated to a bunch of women's shelters in California. OMG. And then he gave Shane Dawson a little, like, thank you box of stuff for helping him to declutter his mansion, his house. I'm really gonna call it mansion, his house. His house is beautiful. He was so embarrassed to have people over because it was so cluttered with PR. Here it is, they just got rid of a bunch of, Jeffree Star called it junk, okay? But it was some of it was expired cosmetics, so he got rid of that. And yeah. But I don't blame him. It was overwhelming for him, so he couldn't help it. It was very overwhelming. Like, you get PR every day, and as they were taking all the stuff to the junk truck, the one that you always see that says 1-800 junk thing on the. Anyway, that one. You probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he got rid of a bunch of expired makeup. And a lot of it he was not sorry that he got rid of. Including Rugrats makeup, Nickelodeon stuff. And then some of the stuff that he didn't want to keep, like he'll get the big PR packages of all the different shades, all the different shade ranges. He sends those to the homeless shelters so the women of different shade ranges can enjoy them. And if he doesn't use any of them at all, like he'll find out what company it's from because they're just begging him, he'll just send their cosmetics over to a shelter. It's like, why the hell not, right? Like, people talk trash about him, but obviously he's a good person if that's what he does. Probably isn't just for the tax write-off for donation, but hell, if that's what he's going to do because he's tired of seeing it clutter his house. But like I was saying, when they were getting rid of all that, all of a sudden a UPS showed up with more PR packages, and Shane Dawson was looking at it like, what is that? And the person had to tell him, it's more PR packages. It just never ends. I think she gets tired of it too. So, yeah, Jeffree Star has a personal assistant that helps him with his PR packages, and I think she gets tired of it too, But yeah, I mean, not every channel wants to just PR package all the time. Not unless it's a company that they really, really want. I mean, I don't get PR, and I'm not butthurt. I don't really care. Damn, Skippy, I do not care. And look, I'm almost done with that bear's ear. Gotta make sure it's matching up close enough to that one. This is the one I'm working on, obviously, and that's the one I already did prior to coming on here. So, and I'm doing them different on purpose. And thank you for the second thumbs up. And if you are on my Instagram, you're actually able to comment something private message, and I'll actually see it in the corner of my screen, whichever side that is here, but I'll actually see that in the corner of my screen. CG does that all the time because she knows I just don't need the bullies right now coming in and bothering me, and that's why I took me on the chat. I'm trying to take care of my health. My health comes before YouTube. And I think if anybody else has a health issue, realize that your health is more important than YouTube. Because if you don't take care of you first, how can you take care of your channel? You need to think about that. If you don't take care of you first, you cannot take care of your channel. And that's the absolute truth. You have to be able to take care of yourself before you can take care of your channel. Never be ashamed to actually have to take a break. That's why I only pop in every once in a while. It's like sort of taking a break. Sort of. But just never be ashamed to take a break. Your health is more important. And so, okay, what I'm going to do here is, like, I have this little piece that's kind of sticking out right here. So what I want to do is pull that, if I can pull that under, I really do. I want to see if I can just tuck that under there. Because it was from, like, what I did was I took a bunch of the white yarn and the end pieces and just tied them together. And that's why I have that little piece right there. So it extended the amount of white yarn that I have, which is actually smart instead of it going in a landfill. It's just making it go further. Be kind to the environment and make things last. Lisa, that's my thought. That's just me, though. I don't know what your thought is on that, but be kind to the environment. That's where we live. Without it, we're not breathing. Okay, and now that I have that loop back there, put this here, find my scissors. They should be right over here. Aha! Little tiny scissors. Another piece of scrap yarn. Anyway, these are my little tiny scissors. They're not harmful because they're like kid scissors anyway. They're not even really that sharp, to tell you the truth. Sharp enough to cut yarn, and that's about it. So now you're thinking I'm going to leave that there like that, just that loop. No, pull it through. Pull it through. What you're going to do is make a simple knot. We're just going to get a little naughty here. Yarn jokes. Like I said, if you guys really want to learn more, I mean, I do have another project coming up, and that's why I have bought some other yarn. I do have another sweater project coming up. It's going to be an open sweater. And if you guys want to see that, you let me know. And you let me know if you want me to teach you that for the open sweater. Like, look at that. Look at that cuteness. Isn't that cute? That's cute. That's cute. And it's meant to look like this because it just needed personality. And I think that has a lot of personality, a lot of potential. And, you know, what child isn't going to love a handmade toy, a handmade stuffy? And now, since it's going to be stuffed with yarn, it's going to be fully washable. So if it gets dirty, you can wash this. And think about this. If you do something like this, let me move my necklace. If you do something like this, you can literally sew this onto a garment. You didn't think about that. Oh my gosh, look, you can literally sew this onto a garment. If you crochet something, you can, I'm not going to put that there. That's wrong. Sew this onto a garment. Put that up a little higher. You can sew this, you know, and I'm not saying this. I'm saying you can literally make anything you want, like little butterflies, little roses, stuff like that. You can knit and or crochet them. Although I prefer to crochet them because it's a lot quicker, a lot easier. And if you guys want to know how to do that, you know, leave the comment. But that's just the front. Take the ball of yarn. And this is how you're about to learn how to make a doily. The beginning of a doily. And those little things your grandma used to make. So take your yarn, your tail, and your working yarn. So this is what I do, and a lot of people might think this is weird. I take it and I twist it twice, and I grab that working yarn, the working yarn. I have the tail over here, and I go like that. This is how I make my slip knot. Now, the only reason that I do that is because it's more sturdy than your standard slip knot. Projects that I have knit and or crocheted. Now what you do to make your chain is you do 1, 2, 3, 4 little chains, right? Okay, I know this sounds weird. You go back to that first one, and you have to really hold this precisely so that tail is out of the way, and pull that through. It's really weird, but you have to pull that through. And then 1, 2, 3. Now, how the girl was trying to explain this in her tutorial made absolutely no freaking sense to me at all. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, it made no sense. Wasn't your accent, sweetie? I can understand people from Scotland. Because the Scottish crafter is on here, and I can understand everything she says. Then you just take that, and now to me, I really don't think you need 3 on here, but what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, but before I go around to this part, I'm going to snip off that tail to a certain point, not all the way, only to a certain point. We have another scrap. Now that's totally not annoyingly in the way. And I know a lot of people have not been getting their notifications that I'm on, or even online, or on live, I should say. And then, of course, 2. And now I found that this is a lot easier than what the girl in her tutorial was saying. And I think for the beginning of the circle, you should basically do this. It's going to lay flatter, unless, of course, you want something to look like a nipple, but that's wrong. That's totally wrong. And then go through, and then again, double chain. And when you get to a certain point on this is when you start doing a double. And that's what I will show you here in a minute. I know you see me doing a double chain right here. Now, what I'm going to do as soon as I get right here, I'm going to skip that one. We're going to go right here, right? And then we go in here again. We go back in that same spot, loop it through both, do that. And then you can either go here or you can go here, but this is what I want you to do. This makes it so much easier. You see how flat that is? I'm sort of teaching you guys something for this right now. And then you can go into that one because it's kind of a wide one. So you kind of want to fill that in. Get a little more yarn off the ball. I can't lift my arms too much right now. I was told to continue my heat therapy. Ugh. And then you just keep going around. You got to go back through there, do another one, and then go around. And then when we get to a certain point, we just make this bigger and bigger and bigger until we get the back of the head. And then when we do that, we'll also do some ears. Now, here's my thought is I can just do the back of the bigger part, and then put them together and then stuff that. But then how am I going to stuff the ears? Because I also need to stuff the ears, so I also need to do the ears as well. But now if I do the ears separate, then I'll just stuff those separate and then do the chain stitch to make that fit in. And then we just move along. This actually just doesn't take very long to do. Make sure we get that in the right area there. And if you ever thought about that, like I'm holding my yarn like this right along my finger and my thumb. I'm holding my working yarn and this at the same time, just going like this. Here, let's see if I can turn and show you better. Just naturally, you'll pick this up naturally. Just pick up your yarn with your 3 fingers here. This will come natural to you. Okay. And then take this, loop it through the next. Through the next. And this is how you're going to start making this bigger, is you're going to go through every single one. That's how you want to start making this bigger as you go. And again, take that up like that. Now, I figured if this kind of bubbled out a little, I can kind of pull it in with, which means I could have left this on there, but I did not. But I can always tie it back on and then like pull it in and put it on a piece of this before I stuff. And that way it doesn't look all poofed out weird. Or just hope that the stuffing works out right. And then keep going to every single stitch. And here's my thought with this bear. If I don't have enough of this yarn particularly, I was actually going to make it kind of a patchwork bear, which those are kind of cute anyway. They're kind of cute. I just think that face is so adorable. I don't know why. This is my first time actually making a stuffed animal, but this is something I would give my grandchildren as a homemade teddy bear. I just wish my son talked to me, and well, maybe one day he'll work that out with me. Except for something stupid. But you know what? Maybe someday before I'm gone. I know, now I'm being like extra quiet. Look at how much we've got done on this. Look at how much. Like, just like that much of its face. Oh, no, I already have 2 on there. Go to the next. And that's the other thing I'm almost forgetting is to go ahead and go back with your other stitch. But we can go ahead and start doing that now, because it actually helps to fill it in. Is go back under. I know, because you guys are probably thinking, oh, you forgot something. Yeah, I was waiting for to be able to come back and do that. Now where this little knot is, I'll probably make that side the inside. Depending. Now, like I said, this is going to be the back of the head on this. So there's not going to be any decoration to the back of the head. So this is the decorative part. Only the front of the bear needs decoration. And it needs to have its own personality. That's why I did the face the way I did the face. And for the first time of making a stuffed animal, I actually think that this face is really cute. The ears don't necessarily have to match. And I know there's a lot of people that think, oh, well, why doesn't it absolutely match? Well, it doesn't have to absolutely match. It's a child's toy. They're going to enjoy it no matter what it looks like. It has its own personality. A child is going to enjoy something sometimes more than something store-bought. This house is haunted, so if you hear something out there, it's either the kitten or whatever the heck is haunting this house, unless somebody broke in. But hey, I'm the only one here, just so you all know that. So if you see anybody else walking around, I'm supposed to be alone. Mm-hmm. That is until Rocco gets here. Yes, Rocco from Roaming with Rocco is supposed to be here today. Later, but he's supposed to be here. I'm so happy. I haven't seen him in a while. I worry about him. It's like anybody would about a good friend. You know, you worry about them, especially when they have an inoperable brain mass. That's what he has. So, like, you kind of worry about that friend and hope that they're okay. So, hoping he makes it over here safe. Oh, I'm so enjoying this heat therapy. Now, one of the blood tests that I got done, because, ow, that's a bruise from getting my labs done, was for diabetes, to see if I'm diabetic again. I doubt that I'm diabetic, but who knows, whatever. I can control it. So I hope they don't tell me I have to give myself a shot with insulin every day, because that is another nope on a rope. It's not going to happen. I can't do it. They're going to have to come and do it for me and then hold me down, because no. Let's readjust my diet again. That's what I always do. And it's what made the diabetes go away in the first place, is adjusting my diet. That's what I was talking about earlier. Is adjusting my diet to make the diabetes go away. No sodas, no artificial sweeteners or artificial colors, because artificial coloring, that really doesn't help diabetics. Actually makes it worse, especially red dye number 5 and dye, what was that, the yellow, 40 yellow. That doesn't help diabetics. You need to stay away from that as much as possible. Don't see me eating Skittles or M&Ms. That dye happens to be in both of those. Not ditzing the companies. I'll tell you what, though. When I did the food review about the Ready Whip and told you guys how it tasted for the non-dairy, it's pretty good. Both cans failed me for it to completely finish, working. So they were kind enough, because I wrote to them and told them about the nozzle failure on the cans, so I had to throw both cans away. So I have to, for them, give them a thank you for, and I didn't know that they had, Ready Whip had taken their company down to Mexico. They might want to rethink that. I'm not saying anything bad, but you might want to rethink that and bring the business back. Actually, Ford had decided not to outsource their company to another country because, well, Anyway, they decided not to outsource. So they're opening brand new plants for people to work. And I guess there's more jobs coming back to America. Isn't that lovely? Not lovely. So lovely. Because past presidents have made companies just want to vanish out of America, because they just didn't want to deal with the BS. So they left America. So what can I say? Except for, hey, I got most of this done. Yeah. It's like most of the thing. That's how that's how I'm measuring this, is like looking at the face and measuring this along with the face to make sure that I have the circumference correct. So that is something that I'm doing, making sure that I have the circumference of this correct. Because the more you work this, obviously, the bigger it gets. Also, something that I've done with almost the same design is, and I know this sounds strange, but I literally made a bikini, a hemp bikini for a model in Philadelphia one year. So it was a string bikini that I had made for her, and the top of it fit great. She was just kind of scared to put on the bottom because of her boot. Um, she was afraid that her booty was too big for it. We could laugh about that. I'm like, girl, that thing will fit over your hips. If not, give it to your sister. I'm like, you guys are kind of in reverse. She's like, huh? But it was all right, though. The top fit her. She's very modest, very mild-mannered person, but, you know, you wouldn't think somebody that models would be, but I used to be a model. I don't care. I come on here with my hair messed up. I haven't even done my hair today. I don't have no makeup on. I'm showing you how I'm crocheting a teddy bear. Now I'm doing a country bumpkin accent for y'all. And that's not how I speak. But yeah, there's actually a lot of models out there that are a lot stuck up. And then there's those of us that are not. I just wish I would have been able to pay the money when the TV show Grimm was still on. I wish I would have been able to have the money to have paid that talent agency to have been on the TV show Grimm, because they wanted me because of my tattoos. Yeah, they wanted me because of my tattoos. Isn't that something? So, oh my gosh. The back of this teddy bear head is almost done. Like, it's kind of fun to do. I gotta remember to leave that face up. It's weird if I don't. And that's why I have, like, here, let me show you guys something. Like right here on the back is where you can tell I brought it through and did the knots. Ouch. Even for the ears. So it's like you don't see all this on the back for a reason, but even though you see a little bit on both ears, you don't see a lot. Okay? And you can also see where the ears are kind of separated from the head, but they're really not separate because I didn't do them separate. I just continued around, did one ear, then came around, did the other ear. So when you're doing that, what you have to do is perfectly align, right? You might think this is a bit awkward or hard to do. You have to perfectly align the very center of the head of the teddy bear, right? So it has to be like this. So the jawline is perfect, and the nose and the forehead. And that's how I figured out where do I start the ear on the other side. And so that worked out. Even though the ears aren't all matchy-matchy, it still has the personality and the look that I want. It was the same thing with the eyes. I didn't want them to be exactly like prompt do or do prompt. It's just the cutest thing. Obviously, I started with the nose, and then I started with this eye, and then I did this eye. So this side's a little smaller than this eye, kind of like this one's a little more bulky, kind of like the nose, but I don't really care. It's still adorable. But now you basically know how to make a doily. If you wanted to. Yeah, you basically know how to make a doily if you wanted to. Should, you know, be kind of cool. You would now know how to do that. Or the floppy hat, you know, like the 1970s floppy hat thing that was going on with Charlie's Angels. Farrah Fawcett was actually Farrah Fawcett Majors when she was on Charlie's Angels, because she was married to Lee Majors at that time. And then she quit the show because they were getting a divorce and she just didn't want to deal with Hollywood's crap. Then she went on to doing some other stuff. And she met her new husband. I think they had kids, I'm not sure. I think they did. Anyway, but when she died, Lee Majors and their husband got together. Actually, I think she divorced both of them. I'm not sure why. Anyway. But yeah, now you can also kind of know how to make one of those little floppy hats. But when you go to pull it to put it together, it won't be all like that. It'll actually be very flat. The only reason it's kind of fanned like this is because of the round up stitching that I'm doing. So I have approximately 4 more lines of this to do. That will be the back of the head before I attach it only to one part before I stuff it, which will be kind of cool. Now, I don't know if you guys want me to stay on longer so that you can see that, because I've already been on here for almost an hour. And I don't want to bore you. So I can finish this up and come back later and then show you guys how I've stuffed the head portion of the bear. And yeah, I can come back with that. And sorry, how I showed you here with linking the 2 chain links together is how I will be linking both the back and the front together. That is exactly how I will be doing that with the crochet chain stitch. So that is exactly how I will be doing that. And it's only because I will leave the yarn dangling. Don't want to leave you hanging. Don't want to leave you hanging. But yeah, so the back will be plain. The front will be decorated. This bear will probably be done by tomorrow. And then Monday I can put it in the mail. I have to go mail some stuff anyway. So yeah. Those scissors out of the way. I did, and I already have this folded up, and I took an extra piece of the yarn and just tied it up, and so it's kind of packaged now. This, oh my gosh, is going to be so warm for the person that's getting this neck warmer. This is a neck warmer. You'll probably want to see it. It's okay. It's okay. I can retie this. Don't worry about it. It's no big. Look at that. Look at that. Right? So basically, and if you really have it on the neck, it'll extend down. And then this is the hemline on the back, which I did on the inside. So he can actually turn this either way. He can have it this way, or he can turn it inside out and have it this way. But there's like a few points on the inside of it that's not the bestest. That's why I say this is the outside. And the hemline on this is the bottom anyway. I count like a little piece like this for being the bottom, because you don't have that at the top. And yeah, you don't have that right here at the top. And so that's the bottom. This is the top. And now you know what the neck warmer looks like. So that's done. And I did 2 arm knit scarves, which I'm not going to untie that and show it to you, but I have a request to do another arm knit scarf. So when I go to do that arm knit scarf, I'll show that to you guys. Hated my one viewer. So yeah, when I go to do the other arm knit scarf, I will show that to you guys if you want me to. But I'm doing that one for another YouTube creator. Not going to give a name unless she wants me to. And now you know the gender of the person, but not the name. Just moving that out of the way because I gotta retie this up. So how I tie this up is basically how you would tie a package, which makes it very convenient. So you just lay that out like that. Put this centered. Pull it up, and this is going to hurt my back for a minute. And my shoulder and my ribs, but whatever. I'm still breathing. Still breathing. And then basically you take it like this, okay? Yeah, I'm not supposed to be lifting my arms up like that for a very long time, according to my new doctor. Don't lift your arms like that until you're completely healed. So he said that I have bruising on my muscles, rib cage, and some muscle tearing. And the same thing goes with my right calf muscle since I'm having a problem with my right leg. So see, perfectly tied back up. So that will be great for the person that it's going to, because up in New York, your weather still sucks. Sucks just as much as the weather has been here. And wherever else in America that's still snowing every once in a while, just like spit in the snow. Now I got to get the spit off. There you go. Funny. It's got to be a little funny today. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just like take the double, because I want to try to flatten this out now. I want to try to flatten this out now that we're almost about the circumference size of the head of the bear. Goodness, I really have been on here for a little over an hour. And we're just going to go ahead and take that around. And the reason why I'm going to do this now is because it's going to totally flatten it back out. And I'm going every other now to do this. It's not going to make it smaller. Trust me, it's not going to make it smaller, people. I promise. Move those scissors back over. I really don't like scissors sitting out near me. I just have a thing about that. Second one, pull that in. There you go. Another loop. Oh, so yeah, so far, this is turning out pretty nice. Sorry if I'm a little quiet every once in a while doing this. So it's like my throat is starting to dry out again. I don't know why. the other thing I like to make myself is my own potato chips and my own French fries. I really do. I like to make those my own way. Oh, hold on. Hey, Rocco. You out front? No? Okay.
I got one more run to go. Storage unit. And then I'm done with that.
Okay.
I got the storage unit and then one of them down to
Okay. Yeah, I know.
I'll call you from
Okay, yeah, you call me from Wawa. Okay, that's fine. Well, you just let me know. Let me know when you're leaving from there to go to Wawa. Yeah. All right. I know you have. I know you have. Oh, okay. That's fine. Well, we can always go to the Dollar General and pick something up for you. Yes, they do. They have a 3XL. I know, but they also have a 3 and a 4XL. They do it the one here. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Bye. Okay. So anyway, this is confirmation. Rocco will be over soon, which means I actually need to end this live stream and be ready for him to come over because I haven't seen my best friend in a while. And he has a lot going on. So I want everybody to stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this because this is the darndest, cutest little thing. And then learning how to start a doily. But I can show you how to make the flatter version of this if you want. And that's cool. Can do that for you. Can do that. And then when, like I said, when this is all put together, this is going to be really cool. Maybe I can show it to you before I mail it off. If not, I'm pretty sure it'll be on Doug Paulson's channel or Kelly's, one of the two. I don't know yet. We'll find out. But until then, I will see you all later. Have a blessed weekend.